Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome back to Follow Sketch Friday for Friday, March 27th. For this Friday's sketch, I'm going to be using this Hip Kit Club sketch by Nikki Rowland. It has two photos, a little bit of mixed media, and some stripy bits. I'm also going to be using my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. So let's see what I can do. Now, I really like the way this one turned out, guys, even though I have a warped paper. Love the way it turned out. So I'm taking some Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I put it directly onto my acrylic block. And then I added a little bit of water. And then I'm going to basically kiss the acrylic block against my paper. And then I just kind of smoosh it around. Now, this paper is super thin. Super thin. So as you can see, it just completely buckles and warps. I did not prep it with anything, no gesso, nothing like that. And then I decided to go ahead and do a couple splatters so that I could get the dark green color. Now, I have a feeling if I would have let this dry on its own, it definitely would have been a little bit flatter. However, I am not patient and did not let it dry on its own. As you can see, the birthday theme on the other side, because if you guys remember, this is from my Kill a Kit with Style, and it is the kit that I made and purchased at Tuesday morning for the month of March. Well, since we are in the middle of the quarantine and stay-at-home orders and shelter in place and all of those kind of good things, I will not be shopping for a Tuesday morning kit this month. I had a lot of fun doing it last month, but once everything's kind of open again, I will go ahead and do that. This month, I think I'm going to go ahead and shop my room, and literally shop my room. So we shall see how that happens. So as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of warpedness on this paper. It's definitely a whole bunch of warpedness. And now I'm going to go ahead and mat the paper onto another sheet of paper, just because it is so warped, it is so thin, and it's kind of acting up. So I go ahead and trim that down, which you guys can't see because it's off to the side, but you can definitely see all of that warpiness going on. I didn't even want to use my guillotine trimmer on it because I felt the paper was so warped. I kind of had to hold it down to get a good straight cut on it. So, do as I say and not as I do, and don't basically, oh, look at that warp. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good, people. It's all good. So I went ahead and tried to flatten it down as much as humanly possible. It's going to end up in my album, and it's going to be flattened eventually, so I'm okay with that. I am completely okay with that. But I still mess around with it for a little bit. And there we go. And I'm just like, man, it just keeps warping. And finally, I'm just going to put it down and be done with it. So here are the two photos. My husband had gone out and purchased Whoppers for us, and Impossible Whoppers. I am not a huge fan of Burger King anyway to begin with. Burger King does not agree with me. Every time I eat Burger King, I get super ill. Just recently this has happened because when I was actually pregnant with Chloe, I used to crave Whoppers. So it's just been a recent thing. But this last one was like, no more Burger King. No more. Can't do it. The Impossible Whopper, no. It had something was off. It had an off taste. So if anybody tells you that it tastes just like a regular Whopper, they're lying either to you or to themselves, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. But he did get us Whoppers. Notice he did not buy 3 Impossible Whoppers. He bought 1 for us to try. Nobody was a fan of it. Nobody was a fan. I am pulling out the elements out of my kit here, and I decided that I was going to title this We Dream of Real Beef. And I think I ended up titling it We Dream of Real Meat. So, I don't remember. I feel like I titled it Meat instead of Beef. Because it's not, right? It's not fake beef per se, it's fake meat, I think. I don't know. Not exactly sure, but that is what I think it is. So, I do really like these black foam letter stickers. I like the fact that they have uppers and lower cases on them, and they're just a decent size. Like, they're not huge, they're not teeny tiny, they're just a good, decent size, and I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate a good, decent sized, thicker. Ooh, can't think. So I went and pulled these pink fresh alphas, and that just to write the word of. I didn't have the correct letters to write we, so it just ended up being Dream of Real Meat. And even though I pressed really hard down on that O and F, I ultimately have to put glue down on it because it doesn't really stick. But that's okay. That is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start building up the little bits that are down at the bottom of this layout here. And I'm really liking it. Like, I'm liking the way it looks. I'm happy with it. I'm thinking that this is a good thing. And then I'm just kind of layering up bits. So I'm putting stickers on top of stickers. I'm also going to pull in some washi tape. And I think down here on the sketch there was some stitching, but I'm not stitching. I figured that this layout was warped enough, and it did not need that in its life at all. So I am just making sure to add some adhesive to the stickers. They are American Craft stickers. They're Vicky Bouton stickers, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Like, the stickers themselves are beautiful, but the adhesive on the back, not so great. Not so great, is it, American Crafts? No, it's not. Kind of sucks, actually, if we're going to be brutally honest here. The adhesive on American Craft stickers sucks. There. I said it, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. I don't feel guilty at all. Now, I really do like this layout, even though it's all warpy, and even though this might not be something that everyone is interested in, scrapbooking their whoppers. That's okay. I'm interested in it. I want to scrapbook our whoppers, so it's all good. You got to scrapbook the things that you like. Scrapbook the things that make you happy. Scrapbook the things that make you sad. Like, if you need that in your life, like, you need to scrapbook something sad, then scrapbook it. Like, just do it. I think that sometimes we get so caught up in, I've got to have the perfect picture for the perfect collection and the perfect layout, but you don't. Like, do you realize that any photograph you take is the perfect photograph? Because it is a split second, a sweet, sweet moment of time that was captured. Even if you have the double chin, even if you're making the funky face, even if your kids are poking each other, or a kid has his finger up his nose, like, all of that, it's the perfect picture because it's true and it's real and you captured it. So scrapbook that photo. I definitely scrapbook photos that aren't, like, absolutely gorgeous. Do I want to increase my photography skills? A little bit. I'd like to have some really beautiful photos. But most of the time, I'm just scrapbooking for the moment, like taking the photo of that moment. And that's what makes me happy. So there we go. Now I'm adding the little star stickers. I do add adhesive to them later. I'm not sure if I leave that in the video for you guys or not, but the stars are not sticky enough to stay. I mean, come on, talking about American Craft Stars. The only thing about these Vicky Bouton stickers that are a little funky are these owls. And they're a little funky. They remind me of the psychedelic roosters my mother-in-law used to have in her kitchen. And they were like from the 70s, and these owls look like they were related to those psychedelic roosters. So there is that. I mean, there is that. So yeah. I do add some more stickers and some more washi tape up here at the top. And like I said, I'm adding extra adhesive. Can you imagine how quick this layout would have been if I didn't have to keep adding the extra adhesive to hold it down and to keep adding glue? Like, it would be so quick. Like, I mean, now American Crafts is slowing down my scrapbooking, and that's a problem, right? Like, that's a problem. Okay, maybe you do see me stick down the stars. But there they are. Now, I am using the Tonic Studios Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. I know that I've waxed poetic about this adhesive in the past. It is definitely my absolute favorite wet adhesive. It's just great stuff. It's great stuff. I'm on my second bottle, and it's just fantastic. I just love it. It doesn't have a super, super thin tip, but it is a thinner tip, so you can really control how much glue comes out of it. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm thinking that it's coming along pretty great. And then I decide I need to add some of these word stickers. And I just go through and pick some that can be appropriate for the layout that I have going on. So I'm probably not going to pick up something that is like imagine or us or any of those words, but I'm using some other words that kind of go along and kind of can be sort of similar to what's going on in the layout. And I am layering them up. I have to tell you guys, I have definitely been on a washi kick lately, like layering washi kick, not just like one little sheet or piece of washi, but like really putting washi down on the page. And I don't know if that is from, it's not from a desire to use up my washi, but it is from a desire to layer washi upon washi. I know that that might sound a little bit weird, but I really like it. Like, I'm really enjoying it, so I keep on doing it. Do you guys go through phases like that, where you do something and you love it and you just keep doing it and keep doing it? Eventually I'll move on to something else. But it really is something that I'm enjoying right now. I do go ahead and grab the Bow Bunny enamel dots that I have, and I'm just sprinkling a couple of the white ones around. I didn't think that the pink ones that I had left on the sheet there were the right color pink, but I thought that the white was completely like a good match for the layout. So now I add a little bit of journaling, and I don't have the layout in front of me. I'm sorry, guys. I usually read you the journaling, but it's somewhere over there in a stack, and I just not going to go grab it right now. Because, then you got to pause the microphone and all that kind of stuff, and it's So I do know that I talk about how Christopher brought us home an Impossible Whopper to try. He also brought us home each a real Whopper. And then I talk about how we tried it and it had like a weird aftertaste in it, and none of us were impressed, and none of us would be buying Impossible Whoppers. I'm not sure if I talked about none of us were going to be buying regular Whoppers anyway or not. I really don't remember, and that's a good couple lines of journaling. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you again real soon for another video.